Hey guys, this is Paranoid from server 802, and I wanted to make a short video about what you should be spending your gems on in Evony. This video isn't intended for free-to-play players or players that have very few gems. It's intended for people who spend more money on the game and have a decent amount of gems to use. So I have a mail here which pretty much summarizes what you should be spending your gems on. And I'll try to explain the points more specifically. Refreshing the Tavern, cultivating generals, refining the items, buying and refining your dragon, general speciality, and your daily tasks are all very good places you can spend your gems on. And you don't want to really spend it on developing your subsidies or buying expensive items from the black market or from the shop. So first of all, refreshing the Tavern. The Tavern has a lot of important generals that you can buy for free. Maybe the most important ones are your Andrew Jacksons, your Dowgirl 60. Both Andrew Jackson and Dowgirl 60 are really good subsidy generals because they have debuff to enemy troops. The only thing you can put on a subsidy general that affects you in battle are enemy troop debuffs. The buffs don't have any effect, so if a general has increased attack, it's not going to help you when you attack and defend. The only thing that the subsidy general can provide is an enemy troop debuff. And some of the best subsidy generals in that case are the Dowgirl 60, the Andrew Jacksons, the Barbarian King. The Barbarian King, which was an event general, is extremely good, maybe the best subsidy general. So you can buy the Andrew Jacksons and the Dowgirl 60 from the Tavern. Another important general that you want to buy are the Queens and Yolks, and you want to buy 5 of them. So maybe 6 if you're level 35, but you want to have at least 4 or 5 of them so you can farm properly, and you're going to want to refine their politics all the way up. So Queen Geok, buy it, give her the basic champions gear so you can have bonuses to farming, and it's really going to help you. And you can do some basic refines on that for gathering speed, but you want to have 5 of them, and I feel that many people don't have them yet. So don't be afraid to refresh the Tavern and spend 50,000, even 100,000 or 150,000 gems on the Tavern, because you really need those generals for your development. But don't buy the low tier generals that you don't need. So buy your Queen Yolks. If you're far enough advanced, you can buy the generals that you need for the general hall, which helps you complete certain achievements here in the art gallery, in the art hall. So you can buy some of these if you want, but generally I would recommend not to buy second tier generals like Trajan or other farming generals that are not good. Bars is a good general, for instance, because he has the bonus to double drop item and you can use it as a farming general. So that's the first thing you want to do, spend gems on buying generals. The second thing you want to spend gems on is cultivating your general. You don't have too many things to spend gems on in this game. You don't need to cultivate your subsidy generals because it doesn't really give you much. But you do want to spend gems on cultivating your main general. So your Queen Yolks, you're going to want to cultivate her politics because it increases the gathering speed. As you can see on the bottom, resource gathering speed plus 129%. So go ahead and just cultivate and just select politics. You really don't care about the other things. And for your PvP general, you're gonna want to cultivate them for all her skills and attributes. Just cultivate everything up to 500. 500 is the max, and you can only cultivate with gold to a certain point. I think it's like plus 300 or plus 200, and it gets extremely hard to cultivate them. So I just suggest do the cultivate times 10. Spend the 50 or 100 or 150,000 gems to get a good strong general. You're only going to have a couple really strong generals in this game, and it's really important that you cultivate them. And it's really important that you cultivate the right general, because I see people cultivating really bad generals, and it's all gonna go to waste, I think, because if you're gonna find out that your general is like 40 or 50% weaker than other generals, then it's a bad investment. So you want to cultivate the right general. Just off the head, I'll give you a few suggestions for mounted general. A good farming general is Fedora, and a good PvP general is Hannibal. I think he's ranked one, and Martinus is the second one. They're both really good cav or mounted generals that you can invest in. For ranged PvP, you have a bunch of them, like Minamoto, Tomaris, I think even Simeon. I can't remember. Just look it up online. There's a bunch of them. Electra is also pretty good, so she's a good investment. Wild General, you have Joseph Johnston, and you have the new William Marshall, which are both really good Wild Generals. So if you're buying packages, you're gonna have the historic general scroll, epic historic general scroll. Open them up and make sure you cultivate and upgrade the right generals. I wouldn't invest too much in upgrading other generals, but cultivating is not the main thing. The specialities are what's really get you, because even if you're spending a lot of money, you're not going to be able to upgrade the specialities on all your generals, and these are really important. So especially for upgrading specialities, you're going to want to choose your best generals to do it for. For ground general, you have Scipio and Elise. The Google doesn't show Elise as a top general yet, just because the websites haven't updated yet. But you have Scipio and Elise, which are really good. Don't invest in specialities for generals that are not ranked top 2 or top 3, because it's not worthwhile. You're just going to waste all your resources, and these resources are really hard to get. So find a good general and max out all his specialities. And this is one of the more expensive aspects of the game. It cost me like 1,600 for 80,000 points, and I need 80 million. So that's going to be like 160,000 gems just for the last stage here. That doesn't include all the previous stages and all the previous specialities. So it's going to cost millions just to upgrade this. Choose it really wisely. But it's one of the aspects that can really improve your general. I get plus 10% HP and attack here, and another 10% attack, another 10% attack, HP, and defense, and this last one will give 26%. So it's one of the better bonuses in the game, and it's basically what you want to spend your gems on. So cultivate your general and do the specialities, but make sure you choose a top 2 or top 3 general. The next thing you want to spend your gems on is refining your items. And specifically, I would suggest to refine the important items. So if you get a king's gear, don't bother too much refining it, or even your farming gear or champion's gear. You can invest a little bit in refining it, but you want to save most of your gems and your refining stones, which are a limited resource. You want to save it for refining the right gear. So any Plantangent gear that you get is going to be a good refine, because that's the end game gear. So that's already a good investment. Dragon's gear is not always a good refine. I regret some of these refines. For instance, the Fearless Dragon boots. When I upgraded this to Eris boots, then the refines are going to change between 1 and 20%. The max value is going to be 25%, which means I'm probably going to have to refine everything again. So I a bit regret refining some of the dragon items. I should have waited a little bit longer to refine the Eris items, or the Akamende gear, or the Plantangent. But it's not a big deal. I didn't waste too much, but you just want to take it in account that the Eris gear, you can refine it to a higher level than the Fearless Dragon's gear. But some things you have to refine. The Eris bow, if you're doing a ranged general or PvP general, you want to focus mainly on refining your attack, your ranged attack. So make sure you have good refines on your bow and good refines on your ring, because both of these give bonuses to attack, whether it's mounted attack or ranged attack. You're going to want to refine it. The other stuff like troop HP is nice, but let's say you're using a mounted general for farming boss monsters. The mounted troop HP is not really going to matter because you're going to kill the boss monster that you're hunting. You want to kill it in one blow. So don't invest too much in mounted troop HP or mounted troop defense. The important thing is investing in the attack for the mounted troops. If you're ever going to get to a point that you're building a ground general, then the important thing on ground general like Scipio or Elise is to refine the HP and the defense. So in that point, you might refine more of the HP. But I a little bit regret spending too many gems refining the HP. It's not as important as refining the attack. And let's take a look at my ring, which is pretty good already. If I refine it, I click refine, I find the values, and just notice that this is pretty expensive, 1.5 million per refine and 300 stones, so it's going to cost a lot, and I'm going to want to lock in the values that I want. Now if I lock in 2 or 3 values, you can see that for 3 items that I lock, 3 attributes that I lock, it's already 8,000 gems per one refine. If I lock 2, it's 6,000, and if I lock 1, it's 4,000. So it can be very expensive. I think just refining this ring cost me like 200 million gold and probably like 300,000 gems. But like I said, attack for ranged and attack for mounted is extremely important. So that's what you want to spend your gems on, because the bonuses I got from here, if you sum it up, it's about 100% to ranged troop attack, and that's really impossible to get anywhere, even from subsidy bonuses and other stuff like sciences. This is a huge amount of bonus, and it's really hard to get. So if you're spending gems, you want to spend it on refining items, and you want to spend it on refining the right items, the important items. So this is a good example. So we talked about cultivating your general to the max, which it means all the values here, attack, defense, should be near 500. If it's a farming general like Quintin Diok, then cultivate her politics to near 500. We talked about refining your items and doing your specialty skills. So specialties are really expensive, and you can't do it on all your generals. You can only select a few. So choose the right generals like Hannibal or Martinez or Minamoto or Electra. Choose the right generals. For instance, I'm not doing specialities on my Queen Jindiok because it's too expensive and I don't have the resources for it. Though I think one of her specialities can give a good bonus to farming speed. Let's see here. Yeah, she can get extra resources from gathering on her last specialities. If you want to refine the last specialty, it means you need to do the first 3, and it's just too expensive. So just choose it wisely. Another thing that it's pretty inevitable to do is spending gems on the dragon. You need like 250 or 300,000 to unlock your dragon, and then you're going to want to refine it. And this is also, again, a very important part of the game, which can give you huge bonuses. Just refining your dragon is going to cost here, cultivating your dragons, 400 gems, and you're going to want to do it a ton of times until you get good bonuses here. So as you can see, these bonuses, 15, 13, 12, it's really hard to get 60 or 70 or 40 attack to your dragon or to your general in general. It's really hard to get bonuses. So if you have a good place that you can invest gems to get a lot of bonuses, it's a good investment. So Dragon is one of them. Don't be afraid to refine it. And at level 3, you can also invest in talents. So you have the Dragon Howl. The maximum level is 40. I have it to 38. You do have a different attribute here, a different talent that unlocks at Celtic Demon level 6. So when my dragon gets to level 6, I have a different talent. As far as I remember, it gives bonuses to attack and reviving troops, I just figured it's going to be pretty much the same as the first one. I don't really need revival because I'm doing SVS, and my army is going to end up in the hospital most of the time, in battlefield and in SVS. But you could try to spend less resources on upgrading the first talent and hold off for the second talent if you want, because it's expensive. 5,400 each time. You do it 40 times, and each time it costs, I don't know, a few hundred or thousand of gems and the dragon crystals, which are really hard to get. So it's still a really good bonus to your attack and HP. It's worth it's a good investment. So you need to spend gems on refining your dragon talent and refining his skills and just buying the dragon. So don't be afraid to spend on it. The last thing that you just spend gems on daily are just the daily tasks. So if you go to the shrine and I offer 4 times a day, it costs 475 gems. And the other basic tasks, you're gonna spend a few thousand gems doing the daily task, but you're usually gonna earn it all back from the rewards, so it's fine. A big tip I can give is I like to levy the taxes with gems. So I've already done it today, but usually I spend around 15,000 gems and I get 15 million gold. I think that's a good trade because I still have a lot of sciences to do. If you're at a level where you completed most of your sciences and you don't need gold for item refines, then it's fine. But the item refines are going to be expensive. Like I said, the plant tangent ring I have cost me like 300 million gold just to refine it. It was like 300,000 gems and maybe 200 million gold just to refine it. So it's expensive. It's hard to get gold in the game. You can do it from Levy and you can do it from relics. The relics also offer a really good bonus to gold. So every day I go and I use my gems. I take 15,000 gems to get 15,000 gold. Right now I've already done it today, so the gains aren't as good, so I'm not going to spend it. But it's a good, I think it's a good investment of gems. I think I covered everything that you should be spending your gems on. I just want to reiterate, spend it on the right general. Just make sure he's a top 2 or top 3 general and cultivate him all the way to the max. Refine the right items, whether it's plant tangent or Aris gear. Make sure you refine the right items for the right attributes. Buy your Quinjin the Yolks, buy the subsidy generals that you need from the tavern. Don't be afraid to buy it. And refine your dragon and other items. General specialities, also invest in it. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a harder investment, even if you're buying a lot of packages. I'm VIP 15, and it's hard to get them all the way up. One thing I see people spending a lot of speed ups and gems on are subsidies. For our stage, we're a pretty new server. I don't think that's a good investment, and I'll tell you why. Basically, let's take my subsidy as an example. I get 9% construction speed bonus from my blue city, excellent subordinate city. I get 9%. As soon as my subsidy reaches level 20, I should be able to upgrade it, and it's gonna cost 500,000 gems. Now we need to consider what bonuses I'm gonna get if I spend the 500,000 gems to upgrade the city. My build speed is gonna go up from 9% to 12%. So that's a 3% increase in build speed. That's gonna cost me 500 gems. I think that's a really bad investment, and the next level is probably gonna cost millions of gems to upgrade the subordinate city. It's just not a good investment for the bonuses you are getting. Need right now, even speeding up the buildings, speeding up, it's not a good investment because I'm gonna spend here days or months to upgrade my stables to level 19 or 20 or 21. So I'm gonna get like T7 or T8 mounted troops when my main city has T13s or T14s. So these aren't really gonna make any difference in battle right now. So I wouldn't spend months and years upgrading my buildings and hundreds and thousands of gems to get T8 or T9 troops and another 3% in bonus building speed. If I change it to Japan, I might get 9% to attack, and if I upgrade the subsidy, the Japan subsidy, I might get like, I don't know, 7% to attack or 8%. I can't remember the exact values. The return you get is not a good return, and I don't advise anyone to spend more than like the basic gems you need, but you don't really want to spend 500,000 gems or more to upgrade this when the only bonus you're getting is 3%. You can buy other stuff. Another good source of spending gems is just patrolling. Patrolling is really, really good. You're spending some gold, not a lot, but you can buy the Monarch gear for 30 gems, either level 1 or level 3. And I do it I do it quite a bit every day just to get cheap Monarch gear. And then I have decent level Monarch gear for cheap, because if you go and buy Monarch gear, it's gonna cost 200 gems per level 1 Monarch gear. Here you can get it for 30, and you can sometimes get the level 3 Monarch gear for 30, which normally if you wanna buy enough Monarch gear to get a level 3 item, it's gonna be 1800 gems, and here you can buy it for 30 gems. So go to patrol, and I've probably spent 50,000 or 40,000 gems just patrolling and getting Monarch gear. And my Monarch gear is pretty much all level 7s right now, and I even want to work towards level 8, even if it's gonna cost like 100,000 gems, because the bonuses are really good. I'm gonna get another 41% going to go up to 50%, so another 9% to defense, attack, HP, all the bonuses that you get. It's a good investment. Patrolling is pretty much the best way in the game to get Monarch gear. And you can also get, if you find a 24-hour speed up, buy it. If you find some resource box for 500,000 resources, buy it. Excellent worth. It's really good value for the gems you're spending, so don't be afraid to do it every day. Here, that's a level 3. Excellent. Just buy it. Yeah, I think I went over everything. Just if you ever come to a point where you're not sure if you need to spend gems or resources on something, just see how much benefit you're gonna get from it. If you're gonna get like 2% for spending 100,000 or 200,000 gems, it's probably not worth it. But if it's gonna give you a really good bonus for a long time, then it's worth it. Even the construction here, it's a 41% the construction speed, and I probably only spent like, I don't know, 10,000 gems to get all this 41 bonus construction speed instead of spending it on a subsidy. I think I went over everything. I'll open the mail here again just so you guys can see it again. Refresh Tavern, cultivate your general, refine your items, refine your dragon, and upgrade your general speciality. Do it on the right general. Don't do it on any bad generals. Just make sure he's a top 2 or 3 general before you invest in him. And don't spend on building your subsidies right now. There might come a point in time when it's important to get your subsidies to a high level, but that's probably a few years from now. And I also wrote here, don't buy expensive items and scrolls. So I'll just go over that real quick. If you go to the shop here, you can buy items, let's say for war. So I probably wouldn't spend my gems on buying Source of Life, Source of Crystal, even Stamina. Most of these things you can just get from daily quests and Crazy Egg events, which is a really good event. And this one, for instance, just don't spend 100,000 gems buying this, or 25,000 gems to increase your march size. You can get it from quests, and you can get it from buying packages, and it's a bad value for what you're getting. So people do buy the march speed up if they're doing a lot of battlefields and maybe some revival stones, but just the truths, obviously. Just be smart about what you're buying. Don't buy a dragon scroll for 30, 50,000, or I don't know how much it costs. That's gonna be it, guys. Take care, have a happy new year, and hope to see everyone ready for the next server war.